Maria Santos wiped the sweat from her forehead as she pushed her cleaning cart down the long metal hallway. The wheels squeaked loudly in the empty corridor. She had been working for 12 hours already, but there were still 3 more levels to clean before her shift ended. Her back hurt and her feet were sore, but she needed this job. Every credit she earned went straight to her brother back on Earth. He was studying to become a doctor, and Maria would do anything to help him succeed. Celestial Station Omega was huge. It floated in space between 3 different solar systems, and aliens from all over the galaxy came here to trade. The station had 50 levels, and Maria cleaned the bottom 10. These were the levels where poor travelers stayed, where the air smelled like engine oil and recycled water. Rich aliens stayed on the upper levels, where everything was clean and bright. Maria had never been up there, and she probably never would. She stopped at room 1247 and used her keycard to open the door. The small room was empty, but it was a mess. Food containers were scattered everywhere, and the bed sheets were dirty. Maria sighed and began to clean. She had cleaned thousands of rooms just like this one. Sometimes she wondered if her life would ever get better, but then she would think about her brother and keep working Dot as she finished the room and stepped back into the hallway. Maria heard a strange sound. It was like someone trying to breathe but having trouble. She looked around but saw no one. The sound came again, weaker this time. Maria followed the noise down the hallway toward the maintenance area. Behind a stack of old supply boxes, Maria found her. An old dragon was lying on the cold metal floor. Her scales were a deep purple color, but they looked dull and dry. Her breathing was shallow and fast. The dragon's eyes were closed, and she seemed to be unconscious. Maria had never seen a dragon up close before. She knew they were dangerous and proud creatures who ruled a big empire somewhere in the galaxy. Most people were afraid of dragons. They were much bigger and stronger than humans, and they could breathe fire. But looking at this old dragon lying helpless on the floor, Maria felt no fear. She only felt sorry for her Dot. Maria knelt down beside the dragon and gently touched her shoulder. The dragon's skin was hot, like she had a fever. Her breathing was getting worse. Maria looked around the empty hallway. No one was coming to help. The dragon might die if someone did not do something soon. Without thinking about the danger, Maria ran back to her cleaning cart. She grabbed a bottle of water and a clean towel. She also took the sandwich she had brought for her dinner break. It was not much, but it was all she had. When she returned, the dragon's eyes were open. They were bright gold and very intelligent. The dragon looked at Maria with surprise. She probably expected a human to run away or call for security. Instead, Maria knelt down again and offered her the water bottle. "You need to drink something," Maria said softly. "You look very sick." The dragon stared at her for a long moment. Then, slowly, she lifted her head and drank some water. Maria used the towel to wipe the sweat from the dragon's forehead. The dragon's fever was very high. "What is your name?" Maria asked. "Zarathis," the dragon whispered. Her voice was deep and musical, even though she was sick. "Why are you helping me, human?" Maria smiled. "Because you need help. My name is Maria." Zarathis looked confused. "Do you not know what I am? Dragons are dangerous. Your people usually fear us." "You do not look dangerous right now," Maria said. "You look like someone who is sick and needs a friend." Maria helped Zarathis sit up against the wall. Then she opened her sandwich and broke it in half. "Are you hungry? I know it is not much, but it might help you feel better." The dragon stared at the offered food. "You would share your meal with me?" "Of course," Maria said. "I can eat later." Zarathis took a small bite of the sandwich. She chewed slowly, as if she had not eaten real food in a long time. "This is good," she said, Sounding surprised, Maria looked around the cold, empty maintenance area. "You cannot stay here. It is too cold, and security guards check this area sometimes. Let me find you a better place." Using her cleaning supplies, Maria made a small, comfortable area in a storage room that was rarely used. She put down clean towels for Zarathis to lie on and used a large plastic container to make a pillow. She even found an old heating unit that still worked and set it up to keep the room warm. "There," Maria said. "This should be much better." Zarathis looked around the simple shelter Maria had created. "Why are you doing this for me?" "Because it is the right thing to do," Maria said. "Everyone deserves kindness when they are sick." Just then, heavy footsteps echoed in the hallway outside. Maria recognized the sound immediately. It was Greg Palmer, her supervisor. He was a mean man who hated his job and took his anger out on the workers under him. If he found Maria here instead of cleaning rooms, she would be in serious trouble. "Stay quiet," Maria whispered to Zarathis. She quickly stepped out of the storage room and closed the door behind her. Greg Palmer appeared around the corner, his face red with anger. He was a large man with small, cruel eyes. "Santos, what are you doing down here? You should be cleaning the guest rooms on level 15. "I heard a strange noise," Maria said. "I thought there might be a problem with the air system." Greg looked suspicious. "I do not pay you to think. I pay you to clean. Get back to work, or you will be looking for a new job tomorrow." "Yes, sir," Maria said. She watched Greg walk away, then quietly opened the storage room door. Zarathis was looking at her with those bright gold eyes. "He threatened your job. You could lose your work because of me." Maria shrugged. "Jobs come and go. But I could not live with myself if I left you here to suffer." The dragon was quiet for a long time. "Finally," she said, "I have lived for many centuries, Maria Santos. I have met thousands of different beings from hundreds of worlds. But I have never met anyone like you." "I am just a cleaning lady," Maria said. "There is nothing special about me." "You are wrong," Zarathis said softly. "You are very special indeed." Maria stayed with Zarathis for a few more minutes, making sure she was comfortable. Then she had to return to her work. "I will come back to check on you during my next break," she promised Dot as Maria pushed her cleaning cart down the hallway. She thought about the strange dragon she had just helped. Zarathis seemed different from what she had heard about dragons. She was polite and grateful, not proud and mean. Maybe the stories about dragons were wrong, or maybe Zarathis was just different from the others. Maria did not know that she had just saved the life of the most important dragon in the galaxy. She did not know that Zarathis was the mother of the mighty dragon emperor who ruled over billions of beings across hundreds of worlds. She only knew that she had found someone who needed help, and she had done what felt right. In the storage room, Zarathis lay on the soft towels Maria had arranged for her. For the first time in many years, the old dragon smiled. She had come to this station to see how other species really lived, away from the formal ceremonies of her royal life. She had expected to find greed, fear, and selfishness. Instead, she had found Maria Santos, a poor human cleaning lady with a heart full of gold. Zarathis closed her eyes and rested, but her mind was busy. This human had shown her something she had never seen before. Pure kindness with no expectation of reward. She began to wonder if everything she thought she knew about humans might be wrong. 3 days had passed since Maria first found Zarathis in the maintenance area. Every day during her breaks, Maria would sneak down to the storage room to check on her new friend. She brought small portions of her own food, extra water bottles, and clean towels. Sometimes she even brought soap, so Zarathis could wash herself properly. The dragon was getting stronger, but she still seemed weak. Maria did not know that Zarathis was actually feeling much better. The old dragon was pretending to be sicker than she really was because she enjoyed Maria's company. For the first time in centuries, someone was taking care of her without wanting anything in return. On the fourth day, Maria arrived at the storage room with a small pillow from her own sleeping quarters. "I thought this might be more comfortable than the plastic container," she said, placing it gently behind Zarathis. The dragon smiled. "You brought me your own pillow? But where will you sleep?" "I can use a folded blanket," Maria said. "It is not a problem." Zarathis watched as Maria checked the heating unit and refilled her water container. "Tell me about yourself, Maria Santos. Why do you work so hard?" Maria sat down on an old crate and pulled out a small photo from her pocket. It showed a young man with kind eyes and a big smile. "This is my brother, Carlos. He is studying medicine back on Earth. I send him money every month so he can continue his education." "He looks like you," Zarathis said, studying the photo. "You have the same gentle eyes." "Carlos is much smarter than me," Maria said proudly. "He will be a great doctor someday. He wants to help people who cannot afford medical care." "And what do you want, Maria?" Maria thought for a moment. "I want Carlos to succeed. I want humans to have a better life in the galaxy. Most aliens think we are weak or stupid, but we are not. We just need a chance to prove ourselves." Zarathis felt something strange in her chest. It was an emotion she had not felt in a long time. Shame. She had always thought humans were inferior beings, good only for simple labor. But this human was working multiple jobs to help her brother become a doctor. This human had risked her own job to help a sick dragon she had never met before. "What about you?" Maria asked. "Do you have family?" Zarathis hesitated. She could not tell Maria the truth about her son, the Emperor. "I have a son," she said carefully, "but we do not see each other often. He is very busy with his work." "That is sad," Maria said. "Family should spend time together. Life is too short to be apart from the people we love." The dragon almost laughed. Humans lived for such a short time compared to dragons, yet this human was telling her that life was short. But maybe Maria was right. Maybe time was not about how long you lived, but about how you spent the time you had. "Would you like to play a game?" Maria asked. She pulled out a deck of old cards from her cleaning cart. "These are human cards. I can teach you how to play." Zarathis had never played games before. In the royal palace, everything was serious and formal. But she was curious. "What kind of game?" "It is called Go Fish," Maria said. "It is very simple. We try to collect sets of 4 cards with the same number." Maria dealt the cards and began to explain the rules. Zarathis was confused at first. She was used to complex political strategies and military tactics. This simple card game seemed pointless. But as they played, she began to understand. The game was not about winning or losing. It was about spending time together and having fun. "Go fish," Maria said when Zarathis asked for a card Maria did not have. "This is a strange saying," Zarathis said, drawing a card from the pile. "Why do we say go fish?" Maria laughed. "I do not know. It is just what humans say. Sometimes our sayings do not make sense, but we say them anyway." They played for an hour, and Zarathis found herself enjoying the silly game. She liked hearing Maria laugh when she made a mistake. She liked the way Maria patiently explained the rules again when she forgot them. No one had ever been so patient with her before. When it was time for Maria to return to work, Zarathis felt sad to see her go. "Will you come back tomorrow?" "Of course," Maria said. "I will bring you some fruit from the market. There is a vendor who sells sweet oranges from the Centauri system." After Maria left, Zarathis lay on the soft pillow and thought about their conversation. This human was working hard to help her brother, but she was also helping a strange dragon for no reason at all. What kind of species did such things? What kind of people put others before themselves? The next day, Maria brought the promised oranges. She also brought a small mirror and a comb. "I thought you might want to fix your hair," she said. "I mean, your head spines. They are very beautiful, but they look tangled." No one had ever told Zarathis that her head spines were beautiful. In the palace, servants took care of her appearance. But they did it because it was their job. Maria was offering to help because she cared. "Thank you," Zarathis said softly. "That is very thoughtful." As Maria gently combed her head spines, Zarathis told her stories. She talked about distant planets with purple skies and cities that floated in the clouds. She talked about creatures that lived in the ice of frozen moons and flowers that glowed in the dark. She was careful not to mention that she had seen these things as part of imperial visits. Instead, she said she had heard the stories from other travelers. "The galaxy is so big and wonderful," Maria said. "I have only seen a few space stations on Earth. Someday, I hope to visit other worlds. What would you like to see most?" Zarathis asked. "I would like to see a world where humans and aliens live together as friends," Maria said. "Where we help each other and learn from each other. Where it does not matter what species you are, only what kind of person you are." Zarathis stopped, combing for a moment. This human had such simple dreams, but they were more beautiful than any treasure in the imperial vault. "That sounds like a wonderful world. Maybe it will happen someday," Maria said. "I probably will not live to see it, but maybe Carlos will. Maybe his children will grow up in a galaxy where everyone is treated fairly." During the following days, their friendship grew stronger. Maria taught Zarathis more card games and showed her how to fold paper into different shapes. Zarathis shared more stories about the galaxy and taught Maria some words in the dragon language. They talked about their hopes and fears, their memories and dreams. One afternoon, Dr. Kane Hughes, the station's human medical officer, was doing his rounds in the lower levels when he heard voices coming from the storage room. He opened the door and found Maria sitting with a large dragon, playing cards and laughing together. "Maria," he said, his voice sharp with concern, "what are you doing?" Maria looked up, startled. "Dr. Hughes, this is my friend Zarathis. She has been sick, and I have been helping her." Dr. Hughes stared at the dragon. He had heard stories about dragons being dangerous and unpredictable. "Maria, you should not be here. Dragons are not safe. They are powerful creatures who could hurt you without meaning to." "Zarathis would never hurt me," Maria said firmly. "She is kind and gentle. She is my friend." Zarathis watched this exchange with interest. The human doctor was trying to protect Maria from her. He thought she was dangerous. But Maria was defending her, just like she had defended her from the supervisor Greg Palmer. "I understand your concern, Doctor," Zarathis said carefully. "But I would never harm Maria. She has shown me great kindness." Dr. Hughes looked uncertain. "Dragons and humans do not usually associate with each other." "Maybe that is the problem," Maria said. "Maybe if we talked to each other more, we would understand each other better." After Dr. Hughes left, Zarathis was quiet for a long time. Finally, she spoke. "He was trying to protect you from me. He was worried," Maria said. "But he does not know you like I do. He does not know that you are good and kind. How can you be so sure?" Zarathis asked. "You have only known me for a few days," Maria smiled. "I can see it in your eyes. I can hear it in your voice when you talk about the beautiful places you have seen. I can feel it in the way you listen to my stories about Carlos. Good people recognize other good people." Zarathis felt that strange emotion again, but this time it was not shame. It was something warm and happy, something she had not felt since she was a young dragon, Long before she became an empress, long before she had to worry about politics and power. It was the feeling of being truly loved for who she was, not for what she could do or what she could give. Maria Santos, a poor human cleaning lady, had given her the most precious gift in the galaxy. She had given her friendship. It was Maria's 8th day of visiting Zarathis when everything went wrong. She was hurrying down to the storage room with a bowl of hot soup when she heard voices echoing through the maintenance corridors. Security guards were doing their weekly inspection of the lower levels. "Check every room," a deep voice commanded. "We got a report about an unregistered alien hiding somewhere down here." Maria's heart began to beat fast. She quickly opened the storage room door and found Zarathis organizing the playing cards they had used the day before. "Security is coming," Maria whispered urgently. "They are looking for you. We need to hide you somewhere else." Zarathis looked calm, but Maria could see worry in her golden eyes. "If they find me without proper papers, what will happen?" "They will send you to a labor colony," Maria said. "Those places are terrible. People work all day and get very little food. Many aliens die there." The dragon nodded slowly. "Then I should leave the station. I do not want to cause you more trouble." "No," Maria said firmly. "You are still not strong enough to travel. And besides, you are my friend. I will not let them take you." Over the next few days, Maria learned everything she could about the station's registration system. She talked to other workers and asked careful questions about alien documentation. She discovered that temporary visitor permits could be obtained from the immigration office on level 20, but they were expensive and required lots of paperwork. Maria counted the money she had saved for Carlos's school fees. It was exactly 1 month's salary. If she used this money to help Zarathis, she would have nothing to send to her brother this month. Carlos was counting on her. He had written to tell her about an important exam he needed to take, and the exam fee was due soon. That night, Maria lay on her bed using a folded blanket as a pillow. She looked at Carlos's photo and thought about what to do. Her brother needed the money, but Zarathis needed help too. If Maria did nothing, her friend might be sent to a labor colony where she could die. The next morning, Maria made her decision. She went to the immigration office and waited in line for 3 hours. When her turn came, she spoke to a bored-looking clerk behind a thick glass window. "I need visitor permits for my friend," Maria said. The clerk, a green-skinned alien with 4 arms, did not even look up. "Species?" "Dragon." Now the clerk looked at her. "Dragon? Do you know how much dragon permits cost?" "How much?" 1,000 credits. Plus processing fees, plus medical examination fees. Total cost is 1,300 credits. Maria's stomach dropped. That was more than she had saved. Is there ... Is there any other way?" The clerk laughed. "You could try the express service. Only 800 credits if you do not mind some unofficial help." Maria understood. The clerk was talking about bribes. It was illegal, but many officials on the station took extra money to process papers quickly. 800 credits was still a lot, but it was exactly what Maria had saved for Carlos. "I will take the express service," Maria said quietly. She handed over all her money. Every credit she had worked for during the past month. The clerk counted it quickly and stamped some papers. "Your friend has temporary visitor status for 30 days, the clerk said. "After that, she needs to leave or get proper immigration papers." Maria took the documents and walked back to the lower levels in a daze. She had just spent all of Carlos's school money to help a dragon she had known for only a week. What kind of sister was she? What kind of person chose a stranger over her own family? But when Maria reached the storage room and saw Zarathis' grateful smile, she knew she had made the right choice. Some things were more important than money. Some things were worth any sacrifice. "These papers will keep you safe," Maria said. Handing over the documents, Zarathis looked at the official stamps and seals. Then she looked at Maria's tired face. "How much did this cost?" "It does not matter," Maria said. "Tell me." Maria hesitated, then told her the truth. 800 credits. Zarathis was quiet for a long moment. "That was money for your brother, was it not?" Maria nodded. "Carlos will understand. I can work extra shifts next month." The dragon stared at the papers in her hands. In all her centuries of life, no one had ever made such a sacrifice for her. Her own advisors in the palace would sell her secrets for much less money than this. But this poor human had given up everything to protect her. "I must repay you," Zarathis said. "I cannot accept such a gift." "Friends do not repay each other," Maria said. "Friends help because they want to, not because they expect something back." Zarathis felt tears forming in her eyes. She had never cried before, not in all her long life. But this human's kindness was breaking something inside her heart and rebuilding it into something better. The next day, Greg Palmer was waiting for Maria when she arrived for work. His face was red with anger, and he was holding a piece of paper. "Santos," he growled, "I just got a report from the immigration office. Seems you have been making some interesting payments." Maria's heart sank. Someone had reported her bribe to Greg. "I do not know what you mean." "Do not lie to me," Greg snapped. "You paid 800 credits for alien documentation. Where does a cleaning lady get that kind of money? Have you been stealing from the rooms you clean?" "I have never stolen anything," Maria said firmly. "Then explain the money." "It was my savings. I can spend my own money however I want." Greg smiled cruelly. "Actually, you cannot. Station regulations say all large financial transactions must be reported. You failed to do that. I could have you arrested for financial crimes." Maria felt cold fear creeping up her spine. If Greg reported her, she could go to prison. She would lose her job and never be able to help Carlos again. "However," Greg continued, "I might forget about this if you tell me who you helped. Aliens who need false papers are usually criminals running from something. The authorities would pay good money for information about them." "I will not betray my friend," Maria said. "Friend?" Greg laughed. "Aliens do not have human friends. They use us and throw us away. Your alien friend will disappear as soon as they do not need you anymore." "You are wrong," Maria said. "Zarathis is a good person." "Zarathis?" Greg's eyes went wide. "You are talking about a dragon? You helped a dragon get false papers?" Maria realized she had said too much. Greg's expression changed from anger to greed. "Do you know how much the authorities pay for information about illegal dragons?" Greg said. "Enough for me to retire." "Thanks for the tip, Santos. You are fired." Greg walked away, already pulling out his communication device to call the authorities. Maria ran as fast as she could to the storage room. "We have to go," she said breathlessly. "Greg knows about you. He is calling security right now." Zarathis stood up calmly. "Where can we go?" "I know the maintenance tunnels," Maria said. "I have been cleaning them for months. There are places where security never goes." They quickly gathered Zarathis' few belongings and left the storage room. Maria led her friend through a maze of narrow tunnels and forgotten passages. The tunnels were dark and smelled bad, but they were hidden from the security cameras. As they crawled through a particularly tight space, Zarathis spoke softly. "You lost your job because of me. You spent all your money because of me. Why do you keep helping me?" "Because you are my friend," Maria said simply. "And friends protect each other." They reached a small chamber deep in the station's core where old machinery hummed quietly. It was not comfortable, but it was safe. Maria used cleaning supplies she had hidden there to make another shelter. "This will have to do until we figure out what to do next," Maria said. Zarathis watched Maria work. This human had lost everything to help her. Her job, her money, her future. And she was still trying to keep her safe. "Maria," Zarathis said quietly, "there is something I need to tell you, something important about who I really am." But before she could continue, they heard the sound of heavy boots echoing through the tunnels. Security guards were searching the maintenance areas. "They found us," Maria whispered. Zarathis made a decision. It was time to stop hiding. It was time to tell Maria the truth about everything, even if it meant losing the only real friend she had ever had. But first, they had to survive the next few hours. The sound of boots was getting closer, and there was nowhere left to run. The sound of boots stopped just outside their hiding place. Maria held her breath and pressed herself against the wall. Zarathis was completely still, but Maria could see her golden eyes glowing in the darkness. They waited for what felt like hours, but finally the footsteps moved away. "We are safe for now," Maria whispered, "but they will keep looking. Greg will not give up." Zarathis looked at Maria in the dim light from the old machinery. "Before anything else happens, I must tell you the truth. I have been lying to you about who I am." "What do you mean?" Maria asked. "My real name is Zarathis Val Draconess. I'm not just any dragon. I am the mother of Emperor Valdris, ruler of the Draconian Empire." Maria stared at her friend. "You are ... "I am the Empress Mother," Zarathis said quietly. "My son rules over 300 worlds and billions of people. I came to this station in secret because I wanted to see how ordinary people live, away from the palace." Maria felt like the world was spinning. "You are royalty? All this time? You were lying to me?" "I did not mean to deceive you," Zarathis said quickly. "When you first helped me, I thought you knew who I was. I thought you were trying to gain favor with the royal family. But then I realized you had no idea. You were helping me just because you are good." "I do not understand," Maria said. "If you are so important, why did you not just call for help? Why did you let me spend all my money?" Zarathis' eyes filled with tears. "Because for the first time in my life, someone cared about me for who I am, not for what I can give them. In the palace, everyone wants something from me. They bring me gifts and say pretty words, but it is all fake. You brought me half of your sandwich and asked for nothing. You gave me your pillow and expected no reward." Maria felt hurt and confused. "So our friendship was all a lie?" "No," Zarathis said firmly. "Our friendship is the most real thing in my life. That is why I have to tell you the truth now. You deserve to know who you have been helping." Before Maria could respond, alarms began blaring throughout the station. Red lights flashed in the corridors, and an announcement echoed through the speakers. "Attention all residents of Celestial Station Omega. This station is now under Imperial lockdown. By order of Emperor Valdris of the Draconian Empire, no one may leave or enter until further notice. All dragons on the station must report to Security Level 1 immediately." Maria and Zarathis looked at each other with fear. "My son is here," Zarathis whispered. "He is looking for me." "Will you be in trouble?" Maria asked. "He will be very angry that I left the palace without guards. And he will be furious with anyone he thinks helped me hide." The sound of marching feet filled the station. Through the maintenance tunnels, they could hear orders being shouted and doors being broken down. The Emperor's soldiers were searching every room, every corner, every hiding place. "I have to go to him," Zarathis said. "If I do not, he will tear this station apart looking for me." "No," Maria said. "He will punish you, and he will hurt everyone who helped you. He is my son. I can handle his anger. But I cannot let innocent people suffer because of me. They climbed out of the maintenance tunnels and made their way toward the upper levels. The station was full of Imperial guards wearing black armor with dragon symbols. Everyone they passed looked terrified. Some aliens were crying. Others were hiding in their rooms. Captain Lisa Chun of station security was leading a group of guards through the lower levels when she spotted them. "There," she shouted. "The dragon and the human." Within minutes, they were surrounded. The guards pointed their weapons at Maria and Zarathus. Maria stepped in front of her friend, even though she was shaking with fear. "Do not hurt her," Maria said. "She is sick." "I was only trying to help." One of the guards laughed. "You helped the Empress Mother hide from the Emperor. That is treason against the Draconian Empire." "I did not know who she was," Maria said. "I just saw someone who needed help." The guards forced them to walk to the main docking bay. As they entered the huge chamber, Maria gasped. The biggest spaceship she had ever seen was connected to the station. It was black and gold, with dragon designs carved into its hull. Hundreds of Imperial soldiers stood in perfect lines. At the center of it all stood Emperor Valdris himself. Maria had seen pictures of the Dragon Emperor before, but seeing him in person was completely different. He was enormous, much larger than Zarathus. His scales were deep red with gold edges, and his eyes burned like fire. When he spoke, his voice shook the walls. "Where is my mother?" he roared. Captain Shun pushed Maria and Zarathus forward. "We found them hiding in the maintenance tunnels, Your Majesty." Emperor Valdris looked at his mother, and his expression changed from anger to relief. "Mother, are you hurt? Are you injured?" "I am fine, my son," Zarathus said calmly. Then the Emperor noticed Maria standing nearby. His eyes narrowed. "Who? Is this human? Why is she with you?" "This is Maria Santos," Zarathus said. "She saved my life." "Saved your life?" The Emperor's voice was full of disbelief. "This creature saved the life of the Empress Mother?" Maria felt very small standing before the mighty Dragon Emperor. But she thought about all the times she had stood up to Greg Palmer, and she found her courage. "Your mother was sick when I found her. I only did what any good person would do." "Emperor." Valdris stared at Maria like she was an interesting bug. "Do you know who I am, human?" "You are the Dragon Emperor," Maria said. "But that does not change anything. Your mother needed help, and I helped her. You dare speak to me as an equal?" The Emperor's voice was getting louder. "You are nothing. A cleaning worker. A servant. How dare you touch royalty with your dirty hands?" "Valdris," Zarathus said sharply, "that is enough." But the Emperor was not listening. "This human kidnapped you. She kept you from returning home. She probably wanted to sell you to our enemies." "You are wrong," Maria said, her voice shaking but determined. "I never asked for anything from your mother. I never even knew who she was. I helped her because she needed help, and that is what good people do." "Good people?" The Emperor laughed. "You think humans are good people? Your species is weak and greedy. You fight wars over scraps of metal and drops of water. You destroy your own planet with pollution and waste." "Some humans do bad things," Maria admitted. "But some dragons do bad things too. That does not mean all dragons are evil. And it does not mean all humans are good. But it also does not mean all humans are bad." The Emperor stepped closer to Maria. She could feel the heat from his breath and see the fire behind his teeth. "You have no idea what you are talking about, little human." "I know that your mother is kind and gentle," Maria said. "I know that she likes to play card games and listen to stories. I know that she was lonely before we became friends. Maybe if you spent more time with her, she would not have to travel alone to find companionship. The entire docking bay became silent. No one had ever spoken to the Emperor like this before. The guards looked shocked. Captain Shun's mouth was hanging open. Even Zarathis seemed surprised by Maria's boldness. Emperor Valdris stared at Maria for a long moment. Then he spoke in a voice that was quiet and dangerous. "You think you know my mother better than I do? I know that she deserves respect and love," Maria said. "Not because she is an empress, but because she is a good person with a kind heart. And you think I do not give her respect and love?" Maria looked straight into the Emperor's burning eyes. "I think you are too busy being an emperor to remember how to be a son." For a moment, Maria thought the Emperor might kill her right there. His eyes blazed with fury, and smoke came from his nostrils. But then Zarathis stepped between them. "She is right, Valdris," the Empress Mother said quietly. "When was the last time we talked about anything except politics and state business? When was the last time you asked me how I was feeling, not as an empress, but as your mother?" The Emperor looked at his mother, then at Maria, then back at his mother. "You were missing for 10 days. I thought you were dead. I thought someone had hurt you." "I was not missing," Zarathis said. "I was finding out what friendship really means. This human taught me something I had forgotten. She taught me that the most valuable things in life cannot be bought or commanded. They must be given freely." Emperor Valdris was quiet for a long time. Finally, he spoke to Maria. "You risked your life to protect my mother from me?" "I risked my life to protect my friend," Maria corrected him. "It does not matter who her son is." The Emperor studied Maria's face. He saw no fear now, only determination. This small human had stood up to the most powerful being in the galaxy to defend someone she cared about. Maybe his mother was right. Maybe he had been wrong about humans all along. Emperor Valdris looked at Maria for a very long time. The docking bay was completely silent except for the hum of the ship's engines. Everyone was waiting to see what the most powerful dragon in the galaxy would do to the small human who had dared to challenge him. Finally, the Emperor spoke. "Mother, is what this human says true? Did she really help you without knowing who you were?" "Yes, my son," Zarathis said. "She found me sick and alone. She shared her food with me, gave me her own pillow, and spent all her savings to get me. Legal papers. She lost her job trying to protect me. And she never asked for anything in return." Emperor Valdris turned back to Maria. "You spent your own money to help my mother?" "It was money I had saved for my brother's education," Maria said. "But your mother needed help more than Carlos needed school fees right now." "And you lost your job?" "My supervisor fired me when he found out I was helping a dragon. He said he would report your mother to the authorities for a reward." The Emperor's eyes blazed with anger, but this time it was not directed at Maria. "Where is this supervisor now?" Captain Shun stepped forward. Nervously, "Greg Palmer is in his office, Your Majesty." "Should we bring him here?" "Yes," the Emperor said coldly. "Bring him here immediately." While they waited, Zarathis moved closer to her son. "Valdris, this human showed me something I had never seen before. Pure kindness with no hidden purpose. She taught me that real friendship cannot be bought or commanded." "You have friends in the palace," the Emperor said. "I have people who serve me because they must," Zarathis corrected. "Maria chose to be my friend because she wanted to. There is a big difference." A few minutes later, guards brought Greg Palmer into the docking bay. When he saw the Emperor, his face turned white with fear. He dropped to his knees immediately. "Your Majesty," Greg stammered, "it is an honor to meet you. I am the one who reported the illegal dragon to your forces. I deserve a reward for my loyal service." Emperor Valdris looked down at the trembling man. "You are the one who fired Maria Santos?" "Yes." "Your Majesty, She was helping criminals hide from the law. I had to protect the station. You called my mother a criminal? Greg's eyes went wide with terror. Your mother? I did not know. I was only trying to. You fired the human who saved the life of the Empress Mother, the Emperor said, his voice getting louder. You? Called the authorities to arrest her for helping my family. Please, Your Majesty, Greg begged. I made a mistake. I will give the human her job back. I will promote her. Please do not punish me. The Emperor looked at Maria. What do you think should happen to this man? Maria was surprised by the question. I think he should learn to treat all workers with respect, not just humans. Everyone deserves to be treated fairly, no matter what species they are or what job they do. Greg looked confused. He had expected Maria to demand revenge, but instead, she was asking for fairness for everyone. You heard her, the Emperor said to Greg. You will treat all workers on this station with respect, and you will never work as a supervisor again. You will clean the lower levels, and Maria Santos will be the new supervisor of maintenance services. But Your Majesty, Greg protested, she is just a human. She cannot. The Emperor's roar shook the entire docking bay. Silence, this human has more honor in her little finger than you have in your entire body. She will make a better supervisor than you ever were. The Emperor turned to Captain Chun. Effective immediately, Maria Santos is promoted to supervisor of maintenance services, with full authority over the lower 15 levels. Her salary will be 10 times what she was earning before. Maria stared in shock. Your Majesty, I do not need. It is not a gift, the Emperor said. It is payment for services rendered to the royal family. You saved my mother's life. That deserves proper compensation. Dr. Kane Hughes stepped forward from the crowd. Your Majesty, if I may speak, I saw Maria helping your mother several days ago. I tried to warn her that dragons could be dangerous, but she defended her friend. She showed great courage and loyalty, the Emperor nodded. Dr. Hughes, you will be promoted to Chief Medical Officer of the station. Anyone who shows integrity in dealing with my family deserves recognition. Then the Emperor made an announcement that shocked everyone present. From this day forward, new laws will govern all territories of the Draconian Empire. No being may be discriminated against because of their species. All workers must be paid fair wages and treated with dignity. Anyone who mistreats others because they think they are superior will face imperial justice. The crowd murmured in amazement. These laws would change life for millions of beings across hundreds of worlds. Maria could not believe what was happening. Your Majesty, you do not need to change your whole empire because of me. I am not changing it because of you, the Emperor said. I am changing it because you showed me that I was wrong. You proved that character matters more than species or social position. If a poor human cleaning lady can have more honor than most of my royal advisors, then maybe I need to rethink everything I believed. Zarathis smiled proudly at her son. You are becoming the Emperor. I always hoped you would be. The Emperor looked at his mother with new understanding. You came here to teach me a lesson, did you not? I came here because I was lonely, Zarathis said. But I learned something important too. I learned that the best relationships are built on mutual respect and genuine care, not on duty or obligation. Maria listened to this conversation between mother and son and felt happy for both of them. They were finally talking to each other like family, not like Empress and Emperor. Maria, the Emperor said, I want to offer you a position in the royal court. You could be an ambassador between humans and dragons. You would live in the palace and help me create these new laws. Maria thought about the offer. Living in a palace would be amazing, and she could help make life better for humans across the galaxy. But then she thought about the workers on the lower levels of the station, people like her who struggled every day to survive. Thank you, Your Majesty, Maria said. but I want to stay here. The workers on this station need someone who understands their problems. I can help more people by staying where I am." The Emperor looked surprised. Most people would jump at the chance to live in luxury, but Maria was choosing to remain with the common workers. "However," Maria continued, "there is something you could do for my brother Carlos. He is studying medicine on Earth, and he wants to help people who cannot afford doctors. What do you need?" The Emperor asked. "He needs to finish his education. And maybe he could study at one of your medical schools? He could learn about alien biology and become a doctor who helps all species, not just humans." The Emperor smiled. "Consider it done. Carlos Santos will receive a full scholarship to the Imperial Medical Academy. He will become one of the finest doctors in the galaxy." Maria felt tears of joy running down her face. Her brother would achieve his dreams, and she had made new friends who would last forever. Zarathis walked over to Maria and hugged her gently. "Thank you, my dear friend. You gave me the greatest gift anyone has ever given me." "What gift?" Maria asked. "You taught me what it means to be truly loved," Zarathis said. "Not because of what I can do for someone, but because of who I am inside." The Emperor watched his mother embrace the human and felt something change in his own heart. For the first time, he understood what his mother had been trying to tell him all these years. Power meant nothing without compassion. Strength meant nothing without kindness. "Maria Santos," the Emperor said formally, "the Draconian Empire declares you to be a friend of the Crown. You and your family will always be welcome in our territory, and you will always have our protection." As the Imperial ships prepared to leave the station, Maria stood with Zarathis in the docking bay. They had become the most unlikely friends in the galaxy, but their friendship had changed everything. "Will I see you again?" Maria asked. "Of course," Zarathis said. "I will visit you often. We still have many card games to play, and I want to meet your brother when he becomes a doctor." Maria watched the Imperial ships disappear into space, and she went back to work, but everything was different now. She was no longer just a cleaning lady. She was a supervisor, a friend to royalty, and a symbol of hope for humans everywhere. Most importantly, she was still Maria Santos, a woman who saw someone in need and chose to help, no matter what the cost. And that was the most powerful thing of all.